New Tool Day Tuesday, where I share with you unique or useful tools that I myself use that I think you might be interested in. Today's tool is a little multi-purpose tool. It is a torch, but it's got some attachments that allows it to be other things, such as a soldering iron, a hot knife, polyfoam cutter. You can use it to shrink heat tube, all kinds of cool stuff, and I'm really excited to have it. It was sent to us by Bluefire so that I can share it with you guys. It does come with a nice case, and it has a nice clear window so you can see what's inside. Inside the case is this nice squishy foam that gives everything a home, so you know right away if you're missing something. All of the included torch tips are right here. The included torch feels very nice. It's not too big, not too small. It feels really good in my hand. I could control it, as you can see, like a pencil. The master valve seems to be well machined. Everything feels really good, and the hose is a braided protected hose that is also 4 feet long. Also included is a piezo electric lighter, very similar to what you would find on a grill, so you don't need to have a match or another lighter to light this torch. This torch uses MAPP gas, and MAPP gas burns a little bit hotter than propane. Technically speaking, it's not MAPP gas, it's kind of their own blend because the original company that made MAPP gas is, well, no longer around. Bluefire makes their own MAPP gas, and it works very well. It does burn a lot hotter than propane. But the question in everybody's mind is, how well does it work? And we're going to find out. The first thing we need to do is to just double check and make sure the master valve is turned off, and in this case it is. Take your MAPP gas bottle and just screw it into the valve, just like this. And you want to snug it up just a little bit, and you're ready to use the torch. Let's go ahead and turn the master valve on. So essentially the way these work is you hold the torch in your hand and you're able to control the valve or the intensity of that torch with these 2 fingers as you're holding the torch. Let's go ahead and turn the torch on. We're going to take our lighter, reach in there and give it a light, and you can see it lit right away. There's our flame. It looks really good, and we can adjust that to be really large, or we can turn it down and make it a very small flame. So what would a torch flame like this be useful for? Well, there's lots of things. It would be very good for heat shrink. If you turned it up to a larger flame, you could definitely do some small brazing with it. You could solder some joints on maybe some smaller copper tubing. You could even use this torch to focus some heat on the side of a nut. Maybe you have a rusted nut on a bolt that you just can't get loose. MAPP gas can give you just that little bit of extra heat to make that nut swell a little bit, and you'll be able to get it off. The one thing that I'm really curious about is how well it can solder. Sometimes when you're working out in the field and you don't have access to power, well, it's really nice to be able to solder using gas, and having a little torch like this could be extremely handy. The kit comes with 3 different tip sizes for the soldering attachment. We're going to use the one that has the very fine points and just see what kind of work we can get done with it. Swapping tips is very simple. You just unscrew the tip that you no longer need, and you screw on the tip that you will be using. Lighting this particular tip is going to be a little bit different. If you notice, there are vent slots all the way around the tip, but one of them is a little bit bigger. This bigger opening right here is going to be the perfect place to light the torch. So go ahead and turn the gas on. Go ahead and take your lighter, put it up against the window, and pull that trigger. And you're going to see that it's going to light. You'll see some little blue flames, and eventually it's going to turn red inside, and you're going to know that it's ready to use. Let's go ahead and solder some wires. I'm going to go ahead and tint the tip. We'll hold it here on the back side of this wire, try to get it nice and hot. We'll see if we can melt some solder. And we sure can. And it's already wicked the solder up into the wire. Tip is nice and hot, and it's done a very good job. We'll go ahead and put some heat shrink tubing over the top of that. And as you can see, I can aim my heat very easily. Keeping my distance, I can shrink it up. And that worked very well. If you want to cut some styrofoam or do other types of work, like maybe even whittling some plastic away, they do include a couple of other tips for that. So what are my final thoughts? Well, I really like this kit. I love the fact that it's powered by MAPP gas. MAPP gas is fairly inexpensive. The amount of time you would get for something like this on a bottle of MAPP gas would be a very, very long time. I love the fact that it comes in a nice hard shell case. 4 foot of hose is plenty to be able to work with, to be able to sit that bottle somewhere else and still work on the project that you're working on. The tip selection is nice. It's very adequate for various projects. And I really like the fact that they include a lighter that you can keep inside the kit at all times so you don't lose it. At the time of this video, it costs about $50. I think that's well worth it, and I think everybody should probably have something like this in a workshop. If you like these types of videos, don't forget to like and subscribe. Take a look at some of my other videos. At the very least, you might be entertained.